All right, Shalom Akim, the high spirit within Judah of the GMS Mississippi camp, giving our honor and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bashim, Rakakudash. I also want to give double honor to our apostles, great millstone, rule well, and peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. All right, this is Sirach 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. All right, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. All right, the reason why I brought out this scripture, all right, because a brother sent a request in my YouTube that he actually sent me a video link of this Roku screensaver. All right, I'm just going to play it. And in the video link, he said he spotted Leviathan in the chariots, which are the so-called UFO. And right now, in the very background, you can see a chariot, all right, in the very back. All right, you can see a chariot. And really, then, if I fast forward the video on the screensaver, you can see Leviathan, or what we believe to be Leviathan in the back. And really, this is a vision, all right? Because there are brothers who've had visions that are very similar to this screen, where they were on a boat, and they were on a boat or a ship, more like a party boat or whatever, and they were away from the city, but you could see the city skyline like you can now. And basically the missiles were coming, and the missiles had shot down, but all while the missiles was being shot down, chariots were delivering brothers. Okay, so this actually is a vision. All right, so someone must have had this vision, or somehow the Most High had it set up to where he put it in the Creator's mind to put really what he's what he's going to do in the future on this Roku screensaver, man. All right, but as you can see, like I said, there's Leviathan in the back. All right. Then in the beginning of the video, you can see a chariot. All right, look like it's beaming somebody up, but everything is going haywire. Everything is going berserk in the video. All right, and there's a reason why, because that's the end of America, man. This represents the end of America, and the Most High is going to unleash, all right, Leviathan, and he's going to have his chariots here. And let's get the scriptures to prove it. As a matter of fact, Leviathan is here for vengeance. Right? He's here. He's like the executioner for Yahweh Shema Shai. Like someone sicking their pit bull on you, they sick their pet tiger. All right, Leviathan is the Most High's pet pit bull. He's the Most High's pit bull, man. All right, so let me get that right quick. All right, once again, is Sirach 39 and 28. All right, just get the main part. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, and Leviathan is one of those spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they shall pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. All right, let me get that in see Job 41 and 1. It says, "Canst thou draw out Leviathan with the hook, or his tongue with the cord?" Which Leviathan is what the world calls Godzilla. All right, but really it's Leviathan, and you can't draw him out with the hook. All right, he's too massive. And his tongue with the cord, which thou lettest it down, like you would do a big fish, or maybe even some whale, but you can't do that with Leviathan. Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with the horn? All right, will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. So the Most High is asking these questions. Can Leviathan be touched in so many words? And he can't. The answer is he cannot. All right, verse 9. Behold, the hope of him is vain. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? Because there's always been tales throughout the past millennials, all right, throughout the ages, so to speak, of encounters with Leviathan, all right? It says, none is so fierce that dare stare him up, who then is able to stand before me. So the Most High is like, if you can't handle my pet, all right, the Leviathan is the Most High's pet. That's how you might have that pit bull in the backyard on a leash, all right? Or in that movie, The Sandlot, they had that big, I think it was a Saint Bernard, but they kind of exaggerated his physique like it was some giant dog that'll eat you. All right, it's like that's the Most High's, that's Leviathan, man. Leviathan is that big dog on the movie Sandlot. For you brothers that have seen Sandlot, all right, that's that big. That dog on the planet Earth, or in the ocean, so to speak, in the sea. All right, none is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Who have prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. All right. But let me continue on. It says, I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. Who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? Who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible his teeth are terrible round about. This is giving a physical description of what the world calls Godzilla. All right, and this is the Most High is going to resurrect, although he's not dead, all right, he's in hiding. But the Most High is going to bring out Leviathan in the final hour, man. All right, in the time of Esau's destruction. All right. It says, who can, Job 41 and 14, who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. His scales are his pride shut up together as with his closed seal. And Esau gonna attempt to shoot missiles at Leviathan, and it's not gonna kill him. All right. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. All right. It says, they are joined one to another, they stick together, that they cannot be sundered. By his neesings a light does shine, and his eyes are like the eyelids of the morning, because his eyes are like flames. Out of his mouth goeth burning lamps. Because you know how they might have a legend of a fire-breathing dragon. Well, Leviathan is like that fire-breathing dragon. All right? Out of his mouth goeth burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goes smoke, as out of a seething pot of cauldron. His breath kindleth coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. And his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together, they are firm in themselves, they cannot be moved. His heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raises up himself, the mighty are afraid. Yeah, when he rises up out of the sea, all right, everybody's going to be afraid, man. Just imagine the U.S. Navy having to deal with Leviathan, man. All right. It says, verse 25, when he raises up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breakings, they purify themselves. The sword of him that laid at him cannot behold, the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. All right. Excuse me. And so basically, like I said, when the missiles are shot at, because today there will be a missile, the missiles are going to be shot at Leviathan, and it's not going to do anything. All right. He esteemeth iron as straw and brass as rotten wood. Now, what are missiles made out of, man? It's made out of those elements, man. All right. But it says he esteemeth iron as straw. All right. It says, let me continue on. It says, verse 28, the arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him into stubble. So for this to have been written, that means that has been attempted. All right. In the past, in the past ages, men have attempted to destroy Leviathan, man. And it was a failed attempt. Darts are counted as stubble. He laughed at the shaking of a spear, which today that spear will be a missile. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. Like when he breathes that fire, all right, the water that he breathes into is boiling. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. He maketh the path to shine after him. One would think the deep to be hoary. Hey, man, that's a scary sight, man. A fire breathing, I hate to say dragon, like basically a so-called Godzilla, man, that actually exists, that breathes fire, man. He maketh the path to shine after him, yeah, with his fire. One would think the deep to be hoary. Upon earth there is not like, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He's a king over all the children of pride. Yeah, he's the king over all the children of pride. He's there for vengeance for the children of pride. Pursuing to Sirach the 38th chapter. I'm sorry, Sirach the 39th chapter. And from there, I want to get the book of Psalms. All right. Psalms, just to touch on it because the brother brought it up. He wanted a lesson to be done on it. So for edification, we're going to bring this out. All right, the book of Psalms 104. Who knew that the Most High would discuss Leviathan? You go to church, and when was the last time you heard your preacher speak on Leviathan? Okay. So let me see. It's Psalms 104. I think it's 26. It says, Psalms 104 and 26. There go the ships. There is that Leviathan whom thou hast made to play therein. All right. And I started verse 25. Skip up. Psalms 104 and 25. So is this great and wide sea, wherein are all. So is this great and wide sea, wherein are things creeping innumerable, both small and great beasts. There go the ships. There is that Leviathan whom thou hast made to play therein. All right. Like I said, this is the Most High. It's like he gave the sea to Leviathan, man. And that's how you was a little boy. You might have had little toys in a bathtub. You may have made big splashes in the bathtub, man. All right. That's what the Most High did with Leviathan. It's as though he gave the ocean or the sea to Leviathan, and the ships are just his toys, man. All right. And the Most High has his pit bull trained. So when he says sick Esau in that time, best believe he's going to do his thing, man. All right. And another thing that we saw in that video was a chariot, with just a spirit, because those two things that the brother mentioned, which was the UFO, or the chariot and Leviathan, they're both mentioned in the scriptures. All right. This is Psalms 104. It is both mentioned in the same chapter. All right. It says Psalms 104 and 3, who led the beam of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot. Right. Because the Most High disguises his chariots behind clouds a lot of times. Who walketh upon the wings of the wind. And that's those chariots flying in the earth's atmosphere, so to speak. All right. It says, who maketh his angels spirits, his ministers of flaming fire. All right. And his angels, all right, they're like flames of fire, but their vehicle is those so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of Yahweh Bashim Hawashah. But in the time of Jacob's trouble, all right, they're going to be here to not only deliver the 1/3 of our people, all right, but also to further destruction of Babylon, man. All right. And that's pretty much the point. All things sell their uses. So what's the purpose of seeing so-called UFOs? Like, why are they here? All right. And what's the purpose of seeing Leviathan? All right. There wasn't some great catastrophic event that created Leviathan. No, the Most High created Leviathan because he's one of the spirits that's created for vengeance, man. Because they did not say in Sirach, teeth of wild beasts. All right. Fire, hell. Does not Leviathan breathe out hell? Does he not breathe out fire? Pursuant to Sirach 39th chapter. But, that's all I wanted to do. The brother brought it up. I thought it was a good lesson to, for edification. Because these are some of the things that's pretty soon you might start seeing, you're going to see more YouTube uploads of so-called UFOs. You might see sightings of Leviathan, man. There's a video where it's believed that Leviathan was coming out of the glaciers, man. He was like his head was hiding under the glaciers. You see? With that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, we want to give out honor and glory to Yahweh by Shem Hawashai, by Shem Rakakudash, double honors to our apostles, great millstone, rule well, peace and blessed, house of David the elect. And with that, Abba, come Shalom.